The way to treat plantar fasciitis is changing. If you don't have the newest research and the latest strategies, you're going to continue to experience debilitating pain and waste a ton of time on outdated tactics that do not work. In this video, I'll be sharing the 3 primary causes of PF based on the most recent studies. But first, I'll share the 3 signs and most common characteristics of PF to help you confirm your diagnosis. Also, a little later in the video, I'll demonstrate 2 simple exercises that have the biggest impact on managing your heel pain. I'm Dr. Angela, and I'm the Plantar Fasciitis Doc, and I'm all about helping you resolve PF at home. Now, let's get into it. Plantar fasciitis is an overuse condition or a repetitive strain, meaning if you put too much stress on the soft tissues than they can handle, the result is a breakdown of those tissues and injury occurs. You may have started a new exercise routine that you weren't quite conditioned for, or if you're a runner, you may have increased your mileage too quickly. Or maybe you went to a wedding and wore some very uncomfortable shoes with narrow toe boxes. In most cases, if you look in your most recent past, you will surely be able to identify when you might have placed too much stress on the fascia and initiated the breakdown. I wanted to share with you 3 telltale signs that will help you to confirm your diagnosis of PF. Let's just make sure you actually have the condition. The first and most distinctive feature is pain with the first steps in the morning or after a long period of rest. This is the most common characteristic. If you take that first step in the morning and it feels like someone is stabbing you in the heel with a knife, that's the first sign you could have PF. You may also feel sharp heel pain after a prolonged period of rest, like sitting at your desk or a long car ride. The plantar fascia is a long, thick, fibrous band of connective tissue. It originates at the heel bone and fans out into the forefoot and attaches at the metatarsals. Take your finger and apply pressure on the inside portion of your heel. If this is extremely tender, that's another sign you could have PF. The third sign is pain in the arch with extension of the big toe. Pull your big toe up into extension towards your knee. If this causes pain in the arch or in the heel, this is another positive test for plantar fasciitis. If you have 2 out of 3 of these signs, you very likely have PF. I wanted to share with you the 3 primary causes of PF based on the newest research. Sadly, most people are relying on methods that are ineffective and only prolong healing. In my opinion, the reason recovery rates are so poor is because for years, patients have been given misguided information and outdated tactics that are virtually ineffective. Orthotics, night splints, rolling your foot on a frozen water bottle, getting cortisone shots, and wearing super supportive shoes with arch supports are some of the biggest mistakes people make with plantar fasciitis. All of these methods are short-term band-aids and do not produce lasting results. I have a free guide with a complete roadmap to resolve PF at home. Put the word guide in the comments and I'll be sure you get a copy of that. Now, let's get back to the research. Extensive studies have been performed and confirmed that the factors most likely to be associated with the development of plantar fasciitis were weakness of the peroneal lower leg muscles, weakness of the intrinsic arch muscles, which I like to call your foot core, and calf inflexibility, so tight calf muscles. Let's dig into each one of these. Surprisingly, weakness and dysfunction of the peroneal leg muscles was the strongest predictor of the development of plantar fasciitis. The peroneal muscles are 2 muscles on the outside of the lower leg. They are major movers and stabilizers of the foot and ankle. They run down the lateral side of your leg behind your ankle bone and attach attached to the foot. The peroneus brevis attaches here on the outside of the foot. I have patients who complain of pain at this attachment site, and it's typically peroneal tendonitis. The peroneal longus goes behind the ankle as well, and it's the longer of the two, and it attaches on the plantar surface of the foot at the second metatarsal. The peroneal muscles are especially important in PF cases as they provide support for the arches of the foot. After discovering these findings, I included peroneal strengthening exercises into my program and noticed significant improvements in long-term outcomes. The second most common cause of PF is inflexibility in your calf muscles. I'm sure most of you have heard that stretching your calf muscles can help correct plantar fasciitis, but I'm not sure everyone really understands the connection between calf inflexibility and how it can lead to PF. When our calf muscle group is tight, it limits the normal movement of our ankles. We need proper mobility in our ankles to progress through our walking and running gaits. Ankle dorsiflexion is the action of bringing the foot towards the shin. If this movement is limited, it alters our normal gait cycle and places added stress on the plantar fascia, which is the bottom of the foot. This eventually causes a breakdown of the tissues and shows up as a repetitive strain in the form of PF. The third primary cause of PF is weakness of the intrinsic muscles of the feet, your foot core. We used to believe that the intrinsic muscles only controlled a couple of actions in the feet because they were so small. However, with newer research, we have better insight on how important they are. The number one cause of a weak foot core is wearing footwear that narrows at the toe. When we cram our feet into narrow toe boxes, our normal toe splay is hindered and our feet and toes cannot spread and splay as we walk and run, and our feet are unable to function normally. We need shoes that support the natural shape of our feet with wide toe boxes and zero drop, which refers to the shoe that is flat from heel to toe, like this shoe, widest at the toe and no elevation of the heel. I have an approved shoe list that includes the shoes that I approve and recommend for plantar fasciitis. Put the word shoes in the comments and I'll be sure you get a copy of that. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to share with you 2 exercises that will make the biggest impact on improving the strength of your foot core and peroneal muscles and increases your calf flexibility. The first exercise is calf raises with a ball between your heels. While performing a calf raise on a stair step, squeeze the ball between your heels. Squeezing the ball isolates the peroneal muscles. Perform 1 to 2 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions 1 time per day. As you get stronger, increase to 2 times per day. The second exercise I recommend is kneeling ankle rocks. This exercise helps to increase ankle dorsiflexion and also helps to improve the range of motion of our calf muscles. Kneel in front of a wall. Shift your weight to the front foot. Attempt to touch the wall without raising your heel. Hold for 2 seconds and repeat 15 repetitions on each side. Perform this exercise 1 time per day, and as your range of motion improves, increase to 2 times per day. I shot another video on how to unlock your calf muscles and improve your ankle mobility with more exercises to reverse your PF. Watch that one next. I'll see you there.